Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase, pricing, and availability questions concerning this watch. And this watch is a 2014 launch from Roger Dubuis. It is the Hommage Double Flying Tourbillon, a timepiece in 5N red gold that is 45 millimeters in diameter, 16.7 millimeters thick, surprisingly only 51.1 millimeters lug-to-lug with a broad 25 millimeter spacing between the lugs. This represents a shoot-the-moon project, the kind of thing a watchmaker dreams of from the day he starts watch school. It is a big watch. But unlike a lot of big watches, this has brains and brawn, both size and horological sophistication. We'll throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference. And because of the short lug-to-lug span for the size of it, it actually looks okay on my wrist. I've actually, well, there's two ways to look at this. I've got the smallest wrist that can wear this watch, or the largest wrist that cannot. But if your wrist is 17 centimeters circumference and up, just a little bit larger than mine, you're going to find that this wears absolutely perfect. It's going to fit right. It's going to look right. And the watch is physically formidable. Taking a quick look. The strap is beefy. You can see large, rectangular, symmetrical scales, an expensive, rare, and premium cut of the hide. It's a sort of a medium brown, semi-gloss. This is just a little piece of adhesive. Don't worry about that. It's in outstanding, brand new condition. No crimping, no gouging. Buttery, soft calfskin on the bottom. Roger Dubuis factory strap. Taking a look at the buckle here, because this is a large and expensive, heavy watch. We have a twin trigger release on the clasp and a folding clasp with the RD logo, so you don't accidentally drop your watch while donning or removing it at bedside. The case lines are beautiful. This looks like welded lug case construction at its best, with the lug inserted into a slot in the case, welded on, and then hand filed to create this beautifully sharp break between case flank and lug. You can see we've also got a little bit of a soft bevel on the edge of the lug. The satination runs end to end. We have polish on the lug hoods, satination in between the lugs. Roger Dubuis, fluted crown with RD motif logo. And then we've got a bezel that's actually slightly concave. Rolling around to the crystal, you can see it's AR coated, at least on the underside. It's got a little bit of a domed camber to it. And then what appears to be the dial is actually the movement. So this is the caliber RD100. RD100 is an enormous 36 millimeter diameter movement, roughly 16 French lignes. And so what appears to be the dial is actually the base plate of the movement. And this bridge here for the MotionWorks is a deliberate styling feature designed to insert the MotionWorks and its bridge into a hollow in the main plate. So this thing is the main plate, and then you have these lovely solid gold brushed applique radially arrayed numerals with leaf hands in rose gold, and then the dial is covered with a bright mirrored rhodium, and the dial is a lathe-turned, true reductive hand guilloche. And you can see how that's been applied with spectacular depth in a rayon style or sun ray motif radiating out from the center. We've got an upwardly stepped track for reading our minutes and our hours, and you can see that it features little rose gold applique, and also that the inner face of this step has been mirror polished. Taking a look at the bottom, yes, this is Poisson de Genève, Geneva hallmark, and because the movement is present on both sides of the watch, the Geneva seal decoration, it does have a Geneva feel, but the Geneva seal decoration is present on the dial side of the watch. We have two tourbillon regulators, each one in the shape of a Celtic cross. These are both 1 minute tourbillon, and you can see they are shock protected, mirror polished, internally and externally beveled. And if you look at some of these internal confines, They are masterfully beveled. Like, look where that screw is. There's a small interior angle beveled crease on either side of that screw, and you've got 6 of these screws in total. This is deeply impressive stuff, and it is a little bit chatty, the way tourbillon watches tend to be. It is surprisingly loud in a quiet room, which I find to be an absolute pleasure. Rolling it over, you can see it is also a multi-complication. Some people say tourbillon are not complications. I'd say they are, especially when you have 2, but there is a power reserve indicator on the case back for the 50-hour manual wind power reserve. You can see 52 joules. You can see the size of this movement. You can also see the quality of the anglage, the mirrored anglage, the use of unconventional circular Cote de Genève. All screw heads are mirror finished, and we have the sunray motif from the dial side on the power reserve indicator. This caliber RD100. The watch is 30 meters water resistant, so you don't want to take it swimming, but rain exposure or splashes while washing your hands are just fine. Roger Dubuis actually came back to his namesake brand, or his eponymous brand, in 2012, and this watch came out in 2014, so he was actually part of the development process in sort of an emeritus role. So as watchmaker or founder emeritus, he oversaw the team that did the actual heavy lifting on the watch. And so if you look at it, his name is on the back, but the person principally responsible for the R&D and development is a man named Gregory Brutin. And designing a watch like this must be the pinnacle of a career for a watchmaker, in the same sense that every kid who starts out in automotive engineering dreams of doing a 600 horsepower mid-engine sports car rather than an endless series of Toyota RAV4s. Well, every watchmaker probably dreams about making something like this, and this truly is a dream realized. It is absolutely spectacular, and it goes through 6 weeks, or when it was new, it went through 6 weeks of chronometric control before it was dubbed sufficiently good as a timekeeper to be delivered. And according to Dubuis, something like 360 man-hours go into decorating and assembling this movement. And while there might be a little bit of hyperbole in there, it's definitely plausible that this required an enormous amount of time to decorate, assemble, regulate, and then put through the 6-week control. And everything about this watch is on a monumental scale. The decoration, the artistry, the engineering sophistication, not 1 but 2 flying tourbillon. There is a lot to love here. The movement has 452 parts, which is well into minute repeater territory, and there's nothing about this watch that isn't shockingly impressive. I'm also going to bring in Sammy the scale to give you a sense of how much it weighs. I think there's a sense that the larger Dubuis pieces are somehow of less horological value than the 90s pieces. I'm going to tell you that this watch is proof positive that incredible watchmaking was still taking place at Roger Dubuis in the Richemont era. And the fact that Dubuis himself would have been around to give this a stamp of approval is even more impressive. This is a connection between the past, the present, and the future of a great brand. If you love it, reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.